the ORM concept, and apart from that, the Hibernate, it uses multiple annotations, like at table it already creates the table. Ready-made, everything is ready-made in Hibernate. Okay, I will show you one. Have you used MySQL?
No.
Okay, what is the database that you have worked on?
Uh, Basically SQL, but not so
Hmm.
familiar with that.
Okay, like not any tool.
No.
Okay, fine. I will show you. MySQL is extensively used for any kind of SQL or any kind of database manipulation. So I will just quickly share my screen. Okay, so yeah, I've launched MySQL. First, let me show you how you create the tables. So to install this, I have a document, I have a link. You can try it out. Do you want to install it? Maybe I will send one. um, MySQL, yeah. MySQL or MySQL. Yeah, this slide I will send you, and you can go through the instructions. Okay, this is the link. Only one link I will send. Link is enough. You can set up everything on your own. If you have any difficulties, then you can always let me know. So MySQL would look something like this, and I will create one MySQL instance. So it first time if you are operating, no, it will ask for the password and all. So basically we can have different databases, and the database will contain the tables. Okay, so I have so many things getting created. What I will do, I will delete the students. Let me delete this. Drop table is the command which we have to use. Drop schema. Okay, I will use this. Drop now. Okay, it went off. So now what I will do, I will create a database and show you. So to create anything, you need a query tab, new query tab, and you can just execute using query execute current statement. Okay. So to create a database, create database is the command, and the database name you can specify. Let's say I will create any database. I will show you creating of electronics. Okay, I don't think I have that, so I will create that. Electronics, the database. So I will execute it, query execute current statement. So here if I refresh, I got the electronics database. Okay, under this I can create the tables. So for creating the table, what I will do, I have a standard line. You can always change this particular thing, not an issue. So I will pick this. I don't want to sit and type each and everything. I'll just copy paste. Where is my query tab?
It's SQL 10.
10. Okay, fine. Okay. So here I will say use. First after we have created the database, we have to say use for which table, for which database I want the table. You have to use that. I will execute the use statement. So here at the bottom you will see that it has got executed. Use has been executed. Tick mark. If it fails, no. See, if I remove a semicolon, it will say it has not executed. There is some syntax error. So I will I will execute this, and then I will create a table called as gadget. What is the spelling? Gadget. GAD,
GIDGETS.
whatever. Okay, so I will create a table using the gadget. It is not case sensitive. Okay, so first of all, SQL is it's not case sensitive. You can give capital letters or you can give small letters. So for example, here create I have used small letters. Here I can use capital letters. It does not matter. So I will need a primary key for this. So ID is the primary key. It is of the type int. Okay, no signature sign is not there, plus minus. Primary key is my ID itself, and then I will give a name for it. Another data type is there, varchar. Varchar means we can use numbers as well as characters. Okay, and then rest of the things, let me delete it. Okay, I don't need. I will create a small table gadgets and show you how things work. And I will execute the current text. So here it is executing. So it has got executed. Now it is tick mark. So things should be fine. Let's execute. So here I have the gadget table. So now if I right click and say select row, then it will have an ID and name which I had created. So I can always do insert here. Insert I can always do. You know the insert, right? I hope you will. I believe you know the insert
Yeah, yeah.
statement. Let me just quickly insert one value and show you. So insert into which table you need to specify. Insert into gadget,
That's it.
ID and name, and the values which I want to pass is 4 and say mobile. I want to send the data for one gadget which is called as mobile. So let me execute this particular statement. So it has got inserted. Now let's refresh it and let me say right click select rows. So there you go for mobile. Okay, so this is how you can maintain any data, any you can insert. Similarly, if you want to delete, you can say delete from table and give the whatever is the ID of the table. So similarly, you can do the updation using update statement. So and you can do select from. Okay, select from, you can always do displaying of the data. Yesterday CRUD operations, whatever I told, you can always do everything in MySQL. So here what one thing to remember is I created the database, I created the tables, I added everything, right? Manually I created all this query tab. So but in case of Hibernate, I don't have to do so much of work. Okay, so I will send one slide which will help you to install. This is one particular thing. You go through this, okay? It might help you. If you don't have any questions, then I will address your questions. So later you install that MySQL. So one thing to be noted here is for creating my Hibernate project, Hibernate, I don't think I have it in this particular space. 1 minute. Let me switch my workspace. Yeah, here I have. So in Hibernate, we don't have to do so much of work, which I did here. Everything is automatic. I just create one particular database. All these things we can do using our Java code connecting to the database. So how to do that? We will just check. So first of all, we need to create a Java project. Add, we can create a Maven project also. Here, how we have to work with Hibernate is, first of all, we need Java 8 1.8. Okay, Java 8 is nothing but Java 1.8, and it works with Java 1.8 itself. So first we have to create a Java project, then add the dependencies for the build. That is, we need to add ODBC connector, MySQL connector. MySQL we are using now. So that is the reason we need this MySQL connector. Then Hibernate jar file. We can use a Maven project also, or we can use the direct jars also. Maven project means we add, when we are using Maven project, we edit the pom.xml. But otherwise, if you want to do it manually, you need to download the jar files. Jar files are nothing but Java archive, that is zip files of the code. Then you have to add it to the code. Then Hibernate things will be available to my code. Otherwise, if you want to use a Maven project, you can always use just that, add the dependencies in pom.xml. Then create a database in MySQL Workbench, whatever. You can create one database like the way I did, and create, execute. Okay. Once you have created the database, rest it will take care. So create the XML file. We need one configuration file which is called as hibernate.cfg.xml file, and this will contain all our yesterday whatever I told, session factory, password, connection, all the details will be contained. And also we need the Hibernate main file, which will again contain all the session factory, all the query which is to be executed. It will contain all uh, uh, the code for that, Java code for that. Then we need the player or whatever Pojo class we want to create. We will need the Pojo class for that. It will operate and it will give us the output. Once you execute the main, then we can always check the things in the MySQL workbench. Okay, so let's do it then. Okay. Okay, so I will just close everything. Okay, so first way I will show you, create a Java project, blindly follow the steps, what I have told, these steps. I will send this also to you. So here I will say, what is the project name? Um, Hibernate project one. Okay, and here this is more important for us. You have to choose Java standard edition, Java 1.8. Okay, and it only works with 1.8. See, JRE version. Or you can always use default Java. You have to install 1.8. If you have not installed 1.8, please install 1.8 version. Use JDK. You have to install the JDK. Then click next. Then click finish. So my project has got created here. Now we always have to go to right click. What the instruction says, right click. See, we need to add these dependencies. Okay, so that step we will follow. So I will go here, I will right click. I already have those jar files. If you have to download the jar files, there is one website. I will show you that website. From there you can always download the jar files. Build path, add external archives. This is the option. And then I think I have saved it in Java. Hibernate, yes. So these files you need to add. MySQL, because we are using MySQL database, ODBC is required. And after that, build path, one more file is required, that Hibernate jar. Okay, so this Hibernate jar, we need all these things, I think. We need all these files till this. Okay, all these files are required. You can download them. I will direct you to a link. So these are all the jar files which have got added to my referenced libraries. Now I can always go ahead and create the files. So I already have some ready-made code. Let me use that. So here I have a player class. Okay. Player class is nothing but it is a Pojo, simple Pojo. Any Pojo you can use. I want you to test for any Pojo. So it is simple Pojo like a player, and you can provide all these things I will explain. So I have player ID. 1 minute, let me close the door. Yeah, there is a player ID here and player name, player team, player age. Okay, and toString method is there. ToString method means whenever we want to display something, you can always use the toString method. This is overridden. Object class has this toString method and it has been overridden here. And there are some getters and setters for each of the fields. Okay, and this is one constructor for initialization. Constructor is nothing but to give some initial values to my object. So player name we are giving, player team we are giving, player age. So I have marked with one of the annotations here. See, @entity. @entity means this will become my table. It will become an entity. Entity is nothing but the basic unit of the database. Okay, and create a table using @table with the table name you can provide here. My underscore table will be getting created in the database. Then ID I am giving @ID means primary key. See, always you can hover on it and you can always no attached source. Okay, so ID in the sense you want to create the ID for player ID, primary key, and it is generated automatically. So then you can mention the @generated value. @column, one of the column you want to specify a particular name. So give the player name. Instead of player name, make it just name. Then it will become. So all these are annotations which will help us reduce the amount of code, and also it will help for direct creation of the table, database, everything. Okay, so this is about the Pojo of player. Then I have a main file here, Hibernate main. Let me copy and paste it. Then I will show you what is there here. So here is one error. What is the error? Okay, this, okay, I will take it out. It is important. Okay. So there's one main public static void main is here, and inside public static void main, what we are doing is we are getting an player class object. See, we are referring to the player class object, and on top of this object we are trying to get the session factory. Yesterday, remember, connection, session factory, session, then we perform the SQL operation. So session factory is that we get the factory out of it. From the factory we open a session and then we get the session. Then we provide a transaction. Transaction is nothing but it is an operation to be done on the database. Okay, so this is a transaction. Then we initialize the values for the player. For example, get me the player, then set the name as Dhoni, and then display the details. Okay, so once this is done, we can always no, this is updation, I think. Okay, for selecting a particular record. So here the insertion is nothing but the inserts, add the data to the database. Player 1 is created, Kapil, football 30. So many players are getting created, and we need to save all the players in the database. On the session, we save the players. So this is how we can insert any particular data. And yeah, these all no need. This is all not required. This is for select statement. Okay. If you want to display something, then this is select statement. And commit. Commit means save all the data to the database. Then we close the session. And everything is followed by try catch. In case of any exception, it will handle in the try catch block. Remember all these things, try catch.
Yeah. Try catch.
Okay.
Throw
Yes.
throws.
Yes. So basically yesterday I told you session factory is created, then session is created, then we can execute the different insertion, whatever. So insertion I will show you, and we need to save everything on the session. Okay, fine. This is fine. Then there is a configuration file which is called Hibernate CFG.xml on the SRC. I will paste it. So what this contains is, this is basically an XML file. So what this will contain, what type of driver, this is containing session factory details. Okay, so this is the configuration file, and this will contain all different configuration. What is the connection, who will give the connection, who is the driver, which driver we are using. So for example, here I am using I'm using a MySQL driver. So here I am using MySQL driver. So that is the reason we give this driver class. Then URL is nothing but on my local machine I have a Hibernate demo. I will use one. Okay, Hibernate. Let it be Hibernate itself. Okay, Hibernate demo is a database. It is already there, I believe. Let me check. Hibernate demo. It is already there. I will delete it. No, I will not delete it, but I will only delete the table out of this. Yeah, player table. I will delete it so that things will be clear. Drop. So to delete the tables, we need to use drop. Okay, things are empty now. No player table is not existing. Not to confuse you, I'll take out everything. Okay, so I have a database here. Hibernate. No tables are there. Okay, Hibernate is the database. So Hibernate demo is the database. Then username I will provide. It is my root, and then password I will provide 1 2 3 4 5 6. How many connections are allowed here? 3 connections max will be allowed. Auto commit. Do you want to save the data? It will be true. Then dialect is nothing but what kind of language you are following. It is MySQL dialect. And then context is thread, and show SQL. If you want to display whatever SQL things you are showing, you're trying to do in the console, then you can put it as true. Otherwise, you can put it as false. Formatting, some indentation and all is required, then put it as true. Then this is for updating the table. Like for example, I'm doing an insertion. So insertion is nothing but it will update the particular tables. Okay, now I don't have this package. I will take it out. So there is a mapping class, ORM mapping class will be mentioned. Object relational mapping class. So this is the part where we mention the Hibernate mapping class, which is player in my case. Okay, I will change the table name here. Table name is my table. Okay, fine. So now let me execute and show you how this works. See, once I start, it will start executing the Hibernate things. Okay, now what happened? It is referring to Hibernate statement. Then it is creating my table. My table has got created. Why? Because I had mentioned the table name here as my table. And so with all these things it has got created. Okay, and what else? It is doing a select statement. It is displaying some information. Then where is it now? Why is it not saving? Let's see. We will go back to our database and just do a refresh here. We must be able to see some my table, and this is what we had done. And select rows. If I do, nothing is getting saved at the moment. Let's see why it is not getting saved. Save, I have done this. Forming a select operation. Okay. I will just hold on.
I think above we are selecting the display record select only. Yeah.
No,
Wait.
it is only one particular record, but then it is nothing is there in the table, so it is not okay. Okay, Hibernate demo, it is fine, and table name is okay, and yeah, let me check. Let me check 1 minute. This is all fine, and in the configuration file, yeah, this is fine. And when I begin the transaction, I will just comment out these things. Then I think I must be able to see. There's too many operations, no? Select, I'm doing everything. If I do, then it will not affect. But let's see. Layer 1. This I will comment. This should still work. Let's see. It will, now it has got inserted. Too many things were there. So that is the reason it was not inserting. See, now it is saying insert, insert for all these, whatever P1, P2, whatever I had done. No? So all these are getting inserted into the my table. So P1 to P8, everything should be available. So what I did, I only created this particular Hibernate demo. Automatically table was created. Automatically everything was select rows. I will do. See, everything is entered into the table. Everything was done by our Java code, that is Hibernate framework. Okay, what you have to remember here is one thing is the session factory. Okay, this we have to remember. Whatever driver class we are using, the URL where you want to operate on, username, password, pool size, dilate, all these things you can remember. Most important is the ORM mapping class. Okay, this is what is ORM, and this will refer in directly to the player class, where it will create an object, then it will set all the age, team, player name, everything that we have provided here in the constructor. Then it will save all our data into the database. This is how it is working. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So try it out, and in case if you have some difficulties, you can come back to me. But before that, you need to have a database. Okay, I will send these 3 files for your reference. And these are all the steps. You need to install Java 1.8 also. Three files. And on top of that, Hibernate, yeah, this file. The same thing you can do using the Maven project also. Let me be very quick and show you how to do it using Maven project. So first of all, what we have to do is, Maven is nothing but, instead of adding these jar files, no, so many things, we need to go to the Maven repository, we need to add some things. Okay, let me go to other. You need to create a Maven project. In the list, you need to filter out for Maven project. Click next. Then create a simple project as of now. Simple project, and click next. Give some ID com.hibernate project, artifact ID Maven Hibernate Maven Hibernate project, and then I will click finish. So Maven Hibernate project has got created. So instead of dependencies, only thing is which changing is dependencies. I will copy the same 3 files. Okay, I will copy the same files which I did previously and paste it into the Maven Hibernate project src. See, src main Java means it will contain the Java code. So okay, I have to paste one by one. I will paste these two first. It is an XML file. So both of them, see, both of them are showing errors because we don't have that dependencies. Okay. Then I will copy this src configuration file. It is there here. Now there is one file called as pom.xml which we need to edit. Okay, I will open with pom.xml file is there. I will do open with XML editor. Then we will add the dependencies here. Dependencies one tag. Okay, and to add the dependencies, remember where we need to go the other day. Maven repository and all I told you.
Yeah.
Hibernate configuration we need to add. MySQL we need to add. That's it. Let's wait. It's loading. MVN repository, or you can directly search Maven repository in Google. It will show you the first link, which is MVN repository. And here you can always search for Hibernate. Hibernate, if you search Hibernate ORM entity manager, I believe this is the one. I will go with this. Okay, and here the first one we will choose Hibernate core. Okay, we will use this. I have copied it. I'll come back to my pom.xml. I will paste it here. We need to paste it under the dependencies tag. Even if it is not there, we need to add this particular dependencies tag. Okay, so this is the Hibernate core, and one more was MySQL connector. Let's go back. MySQL, if you look for MySQL, search for it, MySQL connector. Then we copied it and paste it in the dependencies. Okay, it is downloading. See, it will download everything and it will build my things. Then let's see if some more things are required. I will just see. See, it will give the option for fixed project setup, and we need to add so many files are required. Okay, we will add those things. Fixed project setup, the persistent entity, Java X persistence testing. We need more files, so fixed project setup, we will use this. Hibernate ORM, I think I need to add Hibernate. This is also required. We will use a stable version. This is JPA. Yeah, entity manager and all it will have. Let's add it to our pom.xml. Let's check out if my errors have gone. Yeah. So 2 files are required. That is Hibernate ORM framework, Hibernate core, and MySQL connector. And another thing is my entity manager also is required. Okay, I will show you the same things. I will again drop the table from my SQL workbench. I don't want to use the same table. You can rename the table, that's not a problem. And I don't want to change so much of code. And let me refresh. Nothing should be there under the tables. So tables, why this did not delete? Okay, I will drop the table. It is still running. Oh, let's wait. Yeah. Okay, I will make another table. My table is there, no? I will just change the name of the table to my table 1. My table 1 I will make. Let it be a different table. So the same thing I will execute here. Right click, run as Java application. Some exceptions. Okay. I'm getting some exception, but otherwise it generally works fine. Let's see at this tomorrow. Okay, but output will remain the same anyway, whatever method we use. Some dependency is missing, I guess. So that is the reason it is hitting back with an exception. So tomorrow we will have a look at it, and I hope you got the basic concept of
Hibernate.
Hibernate. Okay. So this is what is Hibernate framework, and I will do a recap and I will try to fix that error. No much time, but I'll try to do that.
Yeah, sure.
So fine, Nikhil, I hope you understood and it was helpful for you.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, man. We can drop the call then?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Thank you.
thanks. Bye.